Hello there, everybody. It's Isaac C. Singleton Jr. here. Actor, voiceover artist, and all-around good guy. Welcome. Ace will be coming in shortly. She's waving. She's coming in, everybody.
Oh, that was a great intro. Thank you. Yeah, Isaac, you should do that intro more often. That was great.
What intro was that? That was just me talking. I'm just kidding.
Exactly what you do, who you are, all the good things.
Well, hello there. How you doing there?
Doing okay. Doing all right. I've been doing a lot of self-love this week. I feel like I've been traveling so much that I'm just like, I need to relax in my bed, maybe like read a lot more, and then hang out with some awesome people that I haven't seen in a bit.
Yeah, that's something else. Self-love. Okay.
Oh, I think we just ended up in oh, did you see that?
Does he what?
In the comments?
I saw somebody say help.
Yeah. Turkey. Yasser
Hey.
_ Bay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was tragically what happened over in Turkey this past week, or this past 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's intense. And I think it's really interesting because social media has actually become such a way to wave that flag of please SOS.
Yeah. And it gets help over there.
Oh yeah, and including like especially Iran, Turkey. Iran is going through that crimes against humanity situation with the women, and even Sarah, you know, I've mentioned Sarah Fatimi has been fighting really, really, really hard. One of her friends actually just got sentenced to 2 years in prison, and they like destroyed her just for the 2 months that she was in it. She went home, and then she's like being sent back into that torture.
Wait, Sarah was in Iran?
Huh?
She was in Iran? She went back over there?
No, she's not in Iran. No. But her, she, you know, she has family there. She has friends there. She has, like, she's united with so many creators from Iran, and the social injustice in regards to it has become so, like, there are things that she's told me that I actually know wouldn't be released in international papers.
Well, I know some guys, there's men and women that are protesting, and some of the guys have been executed already. I know this for sure also. We're just not, just speaking their mind. Isn't that something else?
We are very fortunate in America, and I know that. And I want to talk about privilege, and I also want to acknowledge one of these comments. Thank you, Alex, BASSJG. That woman's very beautiful. Greetings. Appreciate it.
I'm not a woman, just letting you know. Oh, he might have been talking about you. Never mind.
I'm gonna smile and going on to the serious topic that we were talking about. Thank you very much for the comment, though. Essentially, it's like being privileged doesn't mean you should feel guilty about it. I feel like in America, we have certain privileges, and therefore we have the resources to actually fight for other people that don't. And that's something that's different. If you're able to create some type of movement to allow people to have resources for their own lives, for their own happiness, it's not necessarily coming from a place of charity. It's coming from a place of, okay, there's a responsibility here.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, I just had one of those discussions the other week, and I was like I feel not saying you're allowed to have any emotions are always valid, but when somebody mentioned to me, I feel guilty for having all this stuff, I'm like, don't feel guilty. You can use all that stuff to help all the people that don't have it. And I know that was really firm, but it's important.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know. What are some of the things you're thankful for? The three things.
Thank you. One of the things I'm thankful for is this coffee.
Coffee. What's in it?
Oat latte, with sweetener from Go Get 'em Tiger.
Is that like stevia or something like that?
Huh?
Is that a stevia sweetener or something like that? We'll just Go Get 'em Tiger.
It's like probably like one of those simple syrups. I don't actually ask, to be honest. I just know it tastes good and I'm good with it, and I trust them.
I see.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Another thing I'm grateful for is car insurance. So my mother, I think we spoke about this last week. My mom got into a car accident.
Car get totaled?
Car was totaled. She's okay. She's safe.
Yep.
Very fortunate. I'm very grateful that she's okay and safe. I'm very grateful for the car insurance for covering the entire car, paying off the car, and then getting her a new car so that my mother can replace the car I shipped her.
So she has another car now.
She's about to. We're going through all the workings of it. But, you know, yeah, she totaled my car, the one that I sent to her.
Yeah, so everybody look out in New Jersey.
Hey.
Another.
She's a very safe driver. It was like one of those, like, she told me about it. She's like, it was weird. I was driving and all of a sudden I just hit the gas instead of the reverse, and it jumped into like this, she was in front of like a storefront. She didn't hit the store. I'm very happy.
Oh, fine, by the way. Hello, Alina.
Hi, Alina.
Back to States. I look forward to contacting you or getting in touch with you.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Those are the three things I'm grateful for. Car insurance, my mother being safe and awesome and funny, and coffee.
Let's see what I'm for. I'm grateful for my resolve to do the things I'm supposed to be doing. And so meaning that I have to get my taxes done before March because I'm a corporation and I don't have to wait. I don't do wait till April like most people. I have to do it in March because what corporations are. So I was laying in bed last night and I just couldn't sleep. So I got up at around 4:30 this morning and just came back into my living room and started tallying up numbers and stuff like that. And that was good. So I got a lot of my tallies down and most of my taxes are done now. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm thankful for the workout. I mean, not the workout, but the actual audition I got to do this morning. It was it's going to be a good show. It's going to be fun. So I got the audition this morning for a show and I was thankful for that too. And then I'm also just thankful for the things I'm learning. I'm learning about things outside the film industry that will be able to generate income for me. And I'm thankful for knowledge. That's what I'm doing.
Cool. Those are great. And by the taxes, I feel like anytime I try to put something off for the next day, I can't sleep. It means I have to do it now. Otherwise, I can sleep. Yeah, it's counterintuitive.
I don't know what my mind must have been reeling last night because I just laid. I woke up at like 3 something and just laying there in bed trying to go to sleep. I said, okay, well, at least you're gonna be laying here. Might as well go do something constructive. You're gonna be awake. So I went and started finishing up the taxes. I was very happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my sleep cycle has been so off lately.
You're probably excited. Well, this Sunday you can't sleep, right?
Well, I woke up early on Sunday because I had like something on Sunday.
No, you're excited coming up and you can't sleep. That's why your sleep cycle's off. Is that are you cycle off because you're really excited about the Super Bowl coming up this coming Sunday and you can't sleep because you just can't wait to see the game?
Somebody actually offered to like chopper me in to like me and one of my good friends chopper me into the Super Bowl, and I haven't seen that promise come through. It's funny. I'll message them later. It was like somebody that I met in Arizona. We were all hanging out at a bar.
And you want me to be the friend that rides with you as you chopper into the Glendale, Arizona to go see the game?
Yeah, I actually like, if you were with me during these events, Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
because you usually are.
Yeah.
It just seems funny. And then I remember there was the commissioner of West Hollywood. I remember we went to one of his events, you and I together. And afterwards, he came up to me and was like, "How did you guys become friends? That's like such an interesting."
Yeah, we're a dichotomy of people, for sure. We don't feel like we match as far as friendship is concerned.
But our hearts do.
Yeah, our heights are just totally. You've heard that term Jeff and Mutt before. You ever heard of Jeff and Mutt? They're cartoons from way back in the day. Anyway, people called Jeff and Mutt because Jeff and Mutt were, one was short and one was really tall. As a matter of fact, Jeff's the short one and Mutt's the tall one. So a lot of people would think the Mutt's the little one, but yeah, Jeff and Mutt. So that's what I think about that. That's not necessarily us, but I mean, there's just a big difference between how we look when we're standing next to each other. That's for sure.
You called me Mutt?
I wouldn't be Mutt. Jeff.
Oh, I see. Okay. I would understand.
Yeah. People would think, oh, Mutt, he must be the little one, but Mutt's the tall one, Jeff's the short one.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it's actually so I love learning about other people's perspectives, right? And one of the quickest ways to acknowledge somebody has a different perspective than you would is their stature. Like, you are 6'4"?
6'5".
You are 6'5". I apologize. 6'5".
I'm trying to take my inch.
I'm my best. I'm not. You are 6'5". I'm 5'2". There are moments when it takes me a second to I'm like looking at you proverbially. And there were moments when I look and just see where your eyes are, and I'm like, mm-hmm. It must be a different world up there.
It is. I love it up here. I really do. I especially love it in crowds. I love it in Comic-Con for sure. When I go to Comic-Con, there's hundreds of thousands of people down there. And when you get on the floor where the merchandising is, I mean, it's just packed in there sometimes, where you're just trying to figure out how you're going to get through the crowd quicker. And because of my height, I can look through the crowd and see where pockets are opened up. I just meander my way through the crowd and get through just because I can see where pockets are opening up, where people are standing and talking, looking at something to buy. I just don't know how to skirt through the crowd. But short people who are like up to my chest and below, they can't see. They just see other chests and torsos in front of them. They don't know where they're going. So I've been a blocker for many people where they've just followed behind me as my weight going through Comic-Con and various other places where you need to look over people. And I love that. I really do.
That's awesome. And you know what? We just got a really good comment. Thank you, brilliant Brianne, because this is a brilliant idea. We should take GoPros, mm-hmm. my height and your height, and go through a grocery store and show the world.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know stores, women tend to want to use me for my body. Can you lift that up? Can you get that off the top shelf for me, please? Sure, I'll get it for you. There you go. So yeah, they're using me for my body, in other words. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So, I get it for them.
All right. I have two notes on that. One, my sister and I are all around the same height. So we've learned to utilize the step stool. Mm-hmm. We know there's a...
You're with the grocery store too?
For the grocery stores, we have a high jump.
A high jump. Yeah, I kind of roll. Many women have asked me over the years, would you get that down for me, please? I'm trying to do a woman's voice. That's what it means. Trying to lighten my voice to sound like a woman. Mm-hmm. And I get it down for them. What the heck? Why not?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm
eating, these are peanut butter pretzels. They're so tasty.
They look tasty. I've learned that just because the whole like high jump step stool thing, right? I've learned that sometimes guys enjoy being asked because it helps them feel needed. So whenever I ask somebody of your height to do something like that, it's mainly because I feel like they would get a sense of joy out of it. That's the only reason why I would actually.
For their benefit, not your own, for whatever you need off the shelf. You do it for their benefit to make them feel better.
I mean, it's a win-win situation, right? They get to enjoy being, you know, feeling like they can take care of a little lady.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I won't bruise my elbows on my way down for my high jump.
Yeah, because that's not good. Plus, you might miss and fall into the middle shelf area. Maybe your face planted on something else you didn't even want. Hit a chin. You know, there's all kinds of, it's just dangerous. Don't do the high jump in the grocery store anymore.
Yeah, that's actually very highly likely.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So
think about the consequences of your.
Yeah, go for the win-win. Go for the. That's a great idea.
Trying to make a guy feel better about himself by helping you get something off the shelf.
I don't know. It's something I was told. Like you know those all right. So growing up, I grew up around a lot of women that were very independent. If they didn't have to ask for the help to do things, they would just figure out a way. Like for example, if we were at one of those events like a Comic-Con or something, my first instinct is dart, find it, agility, run around, because I learned how to do that on my own, right?
Yeah.
One of my like big brother figures basically told me, you gotta let the guy help you a little bit sometimes. It helps. You being too independent hurts a little. I mean, when you need the help a little bit, it's a partnership. Y'all can win together. It's not too big of a deal when you ask.
Are you talking about like if you're in a relationship with some guy and you're being so independent that he doesn't feel like he's needed? That's what you're doing that for? Oh, okay.
That's what he said. Thank you very much, Nick Valderrama. Yes. Thank you.
Quarterback on our football team, his name was Mark Valderrama.
Oh, cool.
I don't think they're related, probably, but anyway.
Yeah, probably not, but you know.
Out there.
Yeah. Well, he mentions this, and then it's taking me a minute to go, that's not needy. And you know, that weird dialogue we all see out on Instagram with the don't do this if you want a specific someone. Don't do this. Do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in my opinion, if I'm asking you to help me with something, it means that's an olive branch of trust.
No. So if you're asking for help, you're just saying, I trust you to help me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, because otherwise I wouldn't give you the olive branch at all. I wouldn't ask for any help.
Not even.
Yeah, I'd probably do something or just suffer without it. Like that's.
You would rather suffer without it. So like I said, the scenario, I'm walking down the aisle, you don't know me. Obviously, I have the length and the strength to lift something off the top shelf to hand to you that you want, but you won't ask for it. You'll just suffer in silence because you don't want to ask for help sometimes.
Yeah. If I don't trust you, like Isaac, I could sense from you that you were a trustworthy person, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eliza Schwartzinger actually is very attuned to this in one of her stand-ups. You could be creepy or cute just by a hair out of place. It is just what it is.
Eyes.
Right.
And since I don't have hair, then obviously I don't have a crazy hair out of place, thus I'm trustworthy. So there you go, bald guys. Yeah. No?
That's an interesting logical path there. You can sense when you can trust somebody and ask them a question, right? Yeah. Remember when I don't know if I told you this. I remember I went to a Ralph's and I thought I saw somebody I knew. I honestly thought I saw somebody I knew. I was like, oh, who is that? Oh, that's not somebody I know. Anyways. And then I went on my merry way. Person finds me in Ralph's.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph's. Finds me in Ralph's and then tries to talk shop and like ask me out on a date, DM me, all of the, I'm like, oh, see, now you understand why there are certain people that you ask for help.
So you thought somebody, you ran up to say, hey, and you were like, oh, I don't know you. Say, hey, well, sorry, excuse me, and you scurried away. But he was like, hey, let me go find this woman and see what's up. That's what happened?
No, it was even simpler. It was, and then walked away.
Oh, you looked at him?
That's it.
Then walked away.
Then he darted around me and found me.
He's like, hey, eye contact. All right. Yeah.
That's not, I was like, no.
I remember the movie Robert Downey Jr. did way back in the day, and I think it was in the 80s. It was called Weird Science. Remember that movie, Weird Science? Kelly LeBrock was in it. Anyway, it's a funny Robert Downey, like a Robert Downey Jr. movie. Anyway, he and his buddy are in a mall, right? But anyway, Kelly LeBrock's character is with Anthony Michael Hall and his friend, because they made her out of a Conjuring out of a magazine. Anyway, long story short, they're in the mall and they're going down the escalator. She's going up the escalator. And she looked at them and just kept looking. Anyway, they chased her up the steps and were like, hey, you were looking at us back there. And she's like, yeah, so, you know what I mean? Because like Kelly Brock was hot in this movie. Anyway, and it's you saw us back there. He's like, hey, you looked at me around the corner over there in the produce aisle. Did you want to see my melons? Or something like that. They started chasing you around the store, hoping to hook up with you. Is that what happened?
No. It was, you know, I have to say, I have to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it's just like, no, that's not what was happening.
Yeah. All you had to do is say, oh, sorry, sir. I just thought you were somebody I knew. Obviously, you're not. So anyway, have a great day. And then walk off.
Well, they used that on me.
Oh, really?
They came back and they were like, hey, so do you go to this gym that I go to? Which he didn't go to that gym.
Okay. Well, he didn't even go to that gym.
Didn't even go to that gym. I actually checked in with the gym that he had me follow. And I was like, hey, by the way, this guy mentions that you go to this gym. You know, like, you have really great videos, like trying to give him like a little bit of a goodwill value for recommending their content to me on Instagram.
Yeah. They were like,
yeah, they came back with, we don't know that guy. Who are you talking about? I'm like,
okay. That's one thing I don't know. As a guy, when it comes to women, male, female relationships, I don't lie anyway, but I might have come up with some cheesy line, and especially a line that's not true about some place I attend or go to, just to see whether or not you're interested because of this thing you might be interested in also. I'm not going to do it because eventually the lie is going to unravel and you're going to look like even stupider down the road. So why lie to begin with?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to a woman, because then she won't be able to trust you for a small lie like that. Then you're definitely going to lie about something big. So why lie at all?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Sometimes, you know, those little fibs where you don't realize you're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, somebody would mention, oh, isn't that a beautiful tree? They're like, yeah, That actually.
I like this, sure.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I hear that sometimes from people. Not, I guess they didn't realize that I thought that they were being honest,
yeah.
Not just passing off. So I would buy them like a replication of the tree in like a photo or something, you know, as a gift. And then I was like, yeah, you said you like the tree.
They're like what tree? What?
And I was like, oh, but you said, you know, and those are little things where sometimes it's like, it's not saying that it's not a lie, but you just found out that they weren't listening to you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, Talk to guys and even girls, you know, a lot of times these guys are like, hey, um, the wife or girlfriend comes up and she asks questions that she shouldn't ask about her outfit. Like, do I look fat in this? Or does this make my butt look big? That's me trying to do the girl's voice again. And he has to sometimes lie because he doesn't necessarily like the outfit or whatever, but he wants her to feel better. So he's just, oh yeah, it looks great, honey.
I actually really don't like that when people. It's like the worst thing you could do because you're not like that little eye right there. Yeah. They're not necessarily because it's like an insecurity thing, right? They're asking because they genuinely don't know, in my opinion, from my point of view. If I ask, does this like, how is this? Is this appropriate for where we're going to? Because like I wouldn't know sometimes. I'm like, should I not wear this? Because there's many styles that I enjoy wearing.
Yes.
It is totally okay to say maybe not for that event.
Well, I think that a lot of times the dress is the right kind of dress. It just isn't the right kind of dress on her body. And I think that like the guy will just say, oh yeah, it looks great, honey. Because I think she's really just hoping for a compliment to get from the person that she's involved with.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting because I know a lot of women, I think, I guess they do that. I don't know. I don't do that. When I'm with my girlfriends and we're out and shopping together, like I can tell whether they're like, ooh, that looks great. You should definitely do that. Then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. But if I'm not fishing for a compliment, you know.
A lot of times they are. But I see what
okay. Well, another thing is like, we live in LA, right?
Yeah, I do.
We both live in LA. Okay. So to be very honest about that, if you can't, there's a lot of people out here that are good at lying in Los Angeles. And I can already see a bunch of people's heads going, yeah. Yeah, all right. So one of the best and easiest ways for me to really discern if somebody was a good person to be around in Los Angeles was I didn't listen to the compliments unless they were really, really thoughtful and sincere. Right? For instance, somebody would come off the stage in a comedy show. And if I were to give them a compliment, I would say, yo, that one joke that you had was great. I feel like my friends at home would really appreciate that and probably heal a bunch of trauma just from that one joke. See how sincere that is?
Sounds sincere.
Yeah. If you say, I love your set, man, you really deserve more.
So that's not a compliment from you. That's just, hey.
That goes one ear out the other. I don't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, if someone were to say that to me. Yeah.
Okay.
I would just
joke you told while you're on stage, then you realize they were engaged. They hit on this exact joke you talked about, even gave it consequences as far as how it would impact others that you knew, and then you'd pay attention to that more. I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, because it's actual appreciation. That's showing me that you actually appreciated what I did and took it with you, and then you implemented it in your life. That is the biggest compliment to me. If somebody were to just do that one mini comment, right?
Yeah.
It either goes in 1 ear out the other, or I listen to it and then it inflates my ego and then I'm off my game. And I'm not interested in anything like that.
Oh, because you don't be off your game either.
Exactly. Sometimes praise could be sometimes not praise, but sometimes it like flattery, which isn't always genuine, right? I don't think flattery is ever genuine. Flattery does no justice. All it does is keep your head in the clouds, and then you're screwed. in my opinion.
Well,
So
a false sense of grandioseness, and you have a false sense of how good you really are because it's just flattery and it's not really true.
exactly, and it keeps you from doing what you need to do.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, a lot of people who didn't take that, in my like it causes for me. I've seen people receive that in competitive environments, and it causes psychological harm.
That's so crazy. Or being, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. But a lot of times, either comedians come off stage, you really can't interact with them very well because usually the next comedian's going up and he's passing by your table quick enough that he's going out maybe to the next club to get his next set in, or maybe go back in the back just to watch the other guys perform. So a lot of times you can't really interact with them anyway because they're passing by you just, hey, great job, or whatever, you know. I wouldn't see where I wouldn't go out in here and out the other because, you know, usually when you just say anything at all, it wasn't that good to you. You're just like, hey, you know.
There's that as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I'm to say, hey, good set, then okay, I would take that. I would take that as like, okay. Because you didn't have to say anything at all. You don't have to lie to me. You don't have to tell me it was a great set when you thought it sucked. You shouldn't say, hey, you sucked.
I think it also does depend on, like, let's say, so in the midst of if I was at a party and someone came up to me with that type of compliment, I'd be like, oh, thank you. You know, it's very. Mm-hmm. If somebody came up with the other one and then tried to continue to keep my attention.
Oh, okay.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so much love on these compliments. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Yeah, seriously.
Should I not? I think Isaac looks amazing. Isaac looks amazing too, right? Ladies and gentlemen, he looks okay. Yes.
I don't know where you live. Sorry, you can say whatever you want to say.
That's fine. Yeah, but I do appreciate the compliments. Thank you very much. Yeah, if it's like a quick passerby, they don't have to tell you that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a testament to how much energy they're giving. Yeah, that's great. I agree with that.
But there's been times when the comedians walking past, I'm like, good job, man. Because it really was. It was genuine. But I couldn't lay out a joke he told and all that kind of stuff and say, this is why I liked it. I just like, hey, good job as he's going to where he's going, you know?
Yeah, because you actually wouldn't have said anything if it wasn't.
I didn't. Yeah, said nothing.
Yeah. So I'll give praise to somebody, especially when they're like, not that they need it, but it's like keep going. That was really good. Keep going.
Oh, I'm like a red wine. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't know what to thank you for equalizing the compliments. Thank you so much, She-Wolf Original _TT. Yeah, he is fine like red wine, yo. That is for Isaac. And then for myself, and I appreciate this. Girl, you look so gorgeous. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah. Godfather.
Right? These comments and these usernames, this takes a lot of creativity. The Godfather, Mensi. Good to see you. Thank you for joining.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no, that's good. It is it's good to be able to just share that, because I feel like a lot of people, it's really interesting to figure out your sagacity here, right? Understand what to discern as what's appropriate, what's not. And a lot of it is more emotional intelligence than actual intellectual intelligence.
Yeah, well, human beings are emotional people anyway. You earthlings.
Oh, we're not robots. We don't need to avoid having those emotions.
Share your feelings. Yes, talk about them. Learn how to control them and not let them control you too. People get emotions because they don't know how to control them correctly. Gets them in a lot of trouble. Happens in love a lot. Also hate. There really is a thin line between love and hate, isn't there?
You know, it's interesting because you said love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I watched your eyes actually look to the left. So I was like, so what memory were you replaying in your mind?
Look to the right, to be honest with you, from where I am.
Oh, from where?
But
So, yeah.
honestly, when I said that, I was thinking about the movie Thin Line Between Love and Hate. It was a comedy. It came out a few years ago.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Mm. I don't think I ever saw it either. I just remember the name of the title of the film, and I know the premise of the movie is this couple that were together, but they were kind of breaking up at the same time, and the crazy antics that went on with them between them.
It is such a fine line. I want to hear more about this movie, and I just think it's such a fine line. Like, if you really love somebody and you actually don't know how to love somebody, it can come out in forms of hate.
Yeah, well,
From the same nature, to be honest.
bad because like we live in a society now, and where there's people out there who abuse the one they supposedly love. They're in love with. That's sick to me. I can't imagine ever beating up a woman I'm in love with. I can't imagine it. But some guys do this. There's some women I heard abuse the guys they're in love with too.
Yeah.
Physical, emotional abuse, and it's weird, but it happens. And I don't know how you spiral into that kind of relationship, but that's what happens a lot.
I was actually discussing this with another coach, like another. So she was planning on starting her coaching business. Mm-hmm. And she started talking about, I was able to easily talk to this girl and help her get out of this domestic violence situation, emotional abuse, etc., and then coach her back on her feet.
Okay. Congrats.
Yes, that was amazing. And I thought that was such a beautiful talent. Not many people understand how to do that and how much care goes into that. And she was explaining the situations to me, and I just, it brought me into these memory flashbacks of when I used to volunteer for a domestic violence stand over near Runyon.
Okay.
And what people told me they went through, I was just like, it makes so much sense. And what I honestly believe we should clearly define somehow, and definitely educate this on what is emotionally abusive, what's the starting point of when it can start turning emotional, and what the appropriate action instead.
Yeah.
Because not everyone understands that clear lining, especially if their parents were the models for that type of behavior growing up as well.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm glad I had some great parents who really taught us well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy whenever a guy, like a girl, breaks up with a guy or vice versa, and all of a sudden he just starts to stalk them, follow them, try to get into their DMs, constantly trying to look into their emails or hack into their things or just whatever. I mean, it's like, hey, man, it's over for that other person. Let it go. Go find somebody new eventually, you know?
Yeah. I think, so what I've learned, especially with women and the ones that I've known growing up, the ones who don't stand for it, right? Like, won't stand for it whatsoever, end up just being single, which is interesting. There are some women that actually have the compassion to mention, hey, you did this and I saw it. What are you going to do to make it better moving forward? And, give the person 3 chances to fix the habit so it doesn't, because most of the time people don't have the awareness, and that's something that's interesting. But when you're with an intimate partner, right, the awareness that you're seeing each other, there's nowhere to hide, right? Yeah. So to have, like, hey, you're doing this, it's killing me. Could you please do this? Let me know if you can. If you can't, what other solutions do you have to fix that?
But see, that's a nice conversation there. People need to talk. And it's like you said, a nice, even keeled voice like that.
Yeah.
You make them feel belittled or whatever. You just bring out your grievances in a nice way with a nice, calm attitude instead of going crazy and yelling and accusatory and making them feel bad about themselves.
Yeah. And those grievances, right? When you're sharing those grievances, that person's vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
when they're sharing their grievances. Anything that you do to retaliate and retaliate those words, person's not going to trust you if you do. It's like,
But I don't think I can communicate with you very well, for sure.
yeah. And if it continues to happen more than 3 times, women will do one of 2 things from what I've seen. One, they will walk away from the relationship and we're good. Cool. Thank you for showing me what I need to learn. Good. Nice to meet you. Now, okay, that's one thing I've done. Another is they'll stick with the relationship and then continue to get stepped on and then disempowered and abused. And nothing else anymore, and they get sucked into that. And then a year later, they're calling about, oh, things got violent. So
there's other scenarios to go along there where they'll stay there and also bide their time and actually explode one day and actually give it back to the person too.
Yeah, that happens too. I've done one of those. Yeah, that one ended. That one really ended. Yeah. I learned from that one to do the other. Like how I just mentioned, like, this is what happened. That, like, what can you do to, and then on my end, of course, I'm also noticing things like, hey, thank you for figuring that out. I will do this too, to make sure that it's more of a harmonious type of reciprocated relationship. Yeah. The problem is the other person isn't doing that.
Okay.
That's like when one person does that and then the other person doesn't, then it becomes even more of a discord.
I see.
Right. Like that communication style, great. If it's shared between the 2 people and they're able to do that and actually hear each other and see
things about gotta communicate.
Yeah, and trust that the person is going to retaliate. Now, what's fascinating about those types of situations is when it gets to that 3rd point, that like we've done this 3 times. Sorry, no. You can still come back to the relationship. You actually can. The only thing is you can't make any of those mistakes ever again.
Yeah. About how it's not only in just emotional abuse, not only just in partnerships, it can happen in friendships and even from your own parents, which I've seen scenarios and all those different things from people I've known over the years.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, I've had friends, like I've left friends for the fact that it was like they were sucking me dry from what I was able to give, and not bringing that reciprocity into the friendship. Right.
Okay.
I've had that. And then that's what we call a leech, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want those. But I've also had the people that have been there and have shown the reciprocity, like you and I, and supported each other. And like when we have something that we can share with another person, like for instance, I know how to do the Instagram lives and I'm able to show Isaac how to do that and we can talk in that way. And then of course, I love having conversations with Isaac. Why not do it live? There's a reciprocity and a big win-win.
Yeah. Keep getting messages from my agency, so I might have to get off of this live and actually see what they want. But it's almost been an hour anyway.
That's true. Yeah. These are really great. These are great comments. I really wish I'll mention these and then we'll close out with a very important, with a nice close so that Isaac can talk to his agency. So But my dear, emotional abuse is not only to find a partnership / relationship, it's also to find a friendship or end from own parents. Hope you understand what I mean. This is coming from She-Wolf Original _TT. Yes, reciprocity with your parents and being appreciative for everything they've done for you. There is something in that. Expecting tea. I really like that. I've dropped friends for being toxic. I keep my circle small.
That's smart.
That is smart. I believe it.
You got a lot of acquaintances, but true friends, not a very big circle. At least not in my world.
Yeah, and there's also this. I found this rule to be important and true. Your the 5 closest people to you, that is, and will exhibit your personality.
Yeah, yeah, and your income too. Sometimes also.
That's true. Mm-hmm. So, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Isaac, I will toss it over to you because I know you're on your way to an important call. So, thank you.
Thanks again for coming in and sitting down for a while and listen to us yap our jaws and talk amongst each other. And I hope you had a good time. Look forward to talking to you next week again, Ace. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl, if you're football fans, that is. And have a safe weekend. Don't drive under influence, and make sure you watch out for people around you who might be driving under influence, because Super Bowl weekend is a fun weekend, but also some people make some bad decisions sometimes. So look out for yourselves. Anyway, be safe and be happy. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Bye.
Mm-hmm.